So the project is to go through the stages of smaran, remembrance, dharan, concentration, and then into the state of dhyan, meditation. In the state of dhyan, the beautiful form of Sri Krishna will begin to appear, reflected on the stable chitta. On your stable mind, the form of Krishna will be reflected there. And then gradually his qualities, associates, and one will go into the stage of dhruva anusmriti, very fixed, the continuous, uninterrupted remembrance. And then it will turn into samadhi, trance. So this is where we want to go, through these stages. This is the project of Japa. When we sit down now, just switch off all the senses, eyes off, ears off, tongue, the mature tongue off, smell off, touch off, all senses off, pratyahara. And letting go of everything. And completely take shelter of Nam Prabhu. Leaving behind this world. When you sit on an asana. This is your launch pad. To go to Goloka Vrindavan. So leave this body and mind behind here. And offer your soul completely to Nam Prabhu. This is the project. So it's not possible by looking around here and there, talking and getting up and going around. It's not, your rocket will stay on the launch pad. You will not go anywhere. So, be fully fixed and aware and focused on your project. The psychology of the principles of yoga have been nicely described by Patanjali. He says that yoga's chitta vritti nirodha, yoga entails the complete cessation of chitta vrittis, the oscillations of the mind. So the same is said in Srimad Bhagavatam in regard to bhakti yoga. Bhakti yogena manasi samyak pranihite malay, the complete arrest of the chitta vrittis, the turbulence in the psychological body. So, Patanjali said, Tada sarupe vasthanam. When the mind is free from turbulence, then you automatically and naturally and intuitively experience being Atma, the soul. Otherwise, if the mind is not steady, then vritti swarupyam, itaratra vritti swarupyam, means if your mind is not steady, then whatever vrittis, whatever oscillations or modifications are coming in the mind stuff, in the chitta, then you will identify with them. Itaratra vritti swarupyam, you think that you are this mind. And then what happens? You begin to participate in the internal dialogue of the mind. The chattering and pattering of the mind. So chanting japa means mano madhye stito mantro, mantra madhye stitam manaha, mano mantram samakyam eta di japalakshanam. It's the definition of the symptoms of japa. That you put the mantra in your mind and you put your mind inside the mantra. So you cannot do this with 3D things. If you have a big box, you can put a small box inside, but then you cannot put the big box inside the small box. It doesn't work. But the consciousness and the Mahamantra are both beyond time and space, so this is not a problem. So put the mantra in your mind and then put your mind inside the mantra, Mano Mantram Samayuktam, and mix the two together that they become one. So there's absolutely no difference between the vibration of the holy name and the totality of your consciousness. No difference at all. Nothing else exists. Now you become free from Pratagdrisha. Bhagavad Maharaj was mentioning it yesterday. Pratagdrisha means the sense that there is any existence outside Sri Krishna. Vasudeva sarvamiti sama atma sudurlabha. A great soul realizes that Krishna is all and everything. And there is no independent or separate substance. Bhayam dviti abhiniveshata syat ishat apetasya viparya smriti. Our whole entanglement in material existence is just due to the dvitiya abhinivesh, absorption in the false idea that there is anything that exists independently or separately from Sri Krishna. So how to become free from the dvitiya abhinivesh, the absorption in this non-existent separate thing? That is Japa. Japa. Patanjali calls Japa Swadhyay. Swadhyay means self-study. Only a person who daily sits down to chant Japa and tries to become absorbed in the name can study and find out exactly where they are in spiritual life. If you become absorbed in Nam Prabhu and your whole bodily identification just dissolves, then you can think that you have a good amount of sattva. And if you sit there and the holy name is kind of mumbling on over there, but you are absorbed in some internal dialogue, mental chatter and patter, then you can understand, you have now studied yourself and discovered that you are rajasic, down in the modes, with the frogs and the toads. So, to participate in the internal dialogue, the chattering and pattering of the mind while chanting Japa is called Nam Aparad. It's simply offense to the holy name. So one has to make a strong decision. Am I going to continue to make offense to Nam and thereby be completely bereft of his mercy? Or am I going to surrender? So in the beginning it's difficult, and therefore it's essential to sit still and be persistent. 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. And then once one has the experience that the oscillations of the mind and the chattering of the mind become peaceful and quiet, and you begin to have the abhiman, identification with your soul, rather than the external material energy, then this makes a samskar, an impression. And even if you experience that only for a few seconds, then that impression is very powerful. I want to experience it again. So then every day you're doing your swadhyay, your internal study, and trying to experience, perhaps you can experience it for 5 seconds or 10 seconds. After some time, you'll just sit down to chant japa and go directly into that state very soon. Because the samskars of the dhyan, that means the impressions of the being in the state of dhyan, accumulate, and they overpower the impressions of being in the state of dehatma buddhi, thinking that the self is the body. If you hold a red rose next to a crystal, then the crystal becomes tinged with a rose hue. This rose hue is not part of the crystal, yet it's tinged with the rose hue. So this is an example of the adhyas, superimposition, of upadhi, a designation. There are two things. Upadhi means a designation, and when that designation is superimposed upon something which is distinct from itself, that's called adhyas. So you should know that your whole idea of who you are, your ego, I am Sriti, I am Ananda Gopal, I am Subhal, that this is a upadhi, a designation. You are none of these things. And this upadhi, which is composed of the mature energy, is adhyas. It is a superimposition on your consciousness. You are Atma. You are an eternal being, beyond time, beyond space, and part and parcel of Sri Krishna, the Supreme Lord. And your home is Goloka Vrindavan. But now there is the adhyas, the superimposition of upadhi, of a material ego. So we want to go beyond that, become free from that upadhi. Only in the state of being free from that upadhi, then we can actually render bhakti. Because the definition of bhakti is sarvupadhi vinirmuktam. Vinirmukta, completely free from all upadhi. Tatparatvena nirmalam. And tatparatvena, tatpara means an absorbed in Krishna, nirmalam, with a pure heart. Rishikesha, Rishikena, Sevanam Bhakti Ucha, then one engages transcendental senses in the service of Rishikesh, Shri Krishna, the master of the senses. Bhakti Uchate, this is called Bhakti. So it is essential. Every morning, try to apply oneself. Unless one applies oneself daily with great persistence, then the actual experience of Nam Bhajan, it will not become available. So to attain this, one should avoid worldly association and mundane talk. Because the discussion of mundane things creates more and more unsteadiness of the mind. You see, this is why Narad Muni chastised Vyasadeva in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. He said, you've written so many things in the Vedas and Puranas and Mahabharata which are not directly about Krishna. It's essentially really the Gramya Katha, Prajalpa, because you spoke about Dharma, how to do your duties in order to go to heaven and enjoy sense gratification in heaven. Or about Mukti, how to totally ignore God forever. All these things you've discussed. And these subjects which are separate in vision from Sri Krishna make the mind unsteady. Tatanyata kinchana yad vivakshita pritagdrishastat krita rupa nama bihi nakachit naiva cha dushtitamati labeta vatahata naurivaspadam. O Vyasadeva, tatanyata kinchana yad vivakshita, whatever you want to describe, pritagdarsha, which is separate in vision from me, then that causes the dushtitamati. Nakachit naivacha dushtitamati. It makes your mati, your chitta, dustita. Stit means fixed, and dustita means not fixed. In a state of, and du is something contemptible. In a contemptible state of oscillation. So as long as that state of oscillation is there, then nakai chit naiva, there is no chance whatsoever of experiencing samadhi or trance. And one's whole life is what? Labeta vatahata now ivaspadam. You are simply like a boat with no steering mechanism, just being blown around the material world by the wind of a mental speculation. So in this verse, it's actually all the verses are like this. They're exquisite. They're so elegantly composed. Every single word is so precise and scientific and descriptive in the most vivid way. So try to go into the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. It's astonishing. So our entire problem and solution is just there in a few words of Sri Narada Rishi. Try to chant the Japa like this, very nicely every day. And if you'll be persistent, after some time, you'll be successful. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Shri Harinam Chintamani, he said, no one ever experienced Nam Bhajan who did not first go through a colossal struggle. So you have to sign up. You have to sign up for that. We're very much attached to comfort and being at ease, relaxation. We don't want to be engaged in a colossal struggle. But every day when we sit down to chant Japa, then one has to be courageous and know that one has taken this responsibility of this project. By receiving Harinam from Guru, you have accepted this responsibility. So if you don't apply yourself with great discipline and persistence daily, then one is shirking one's responsibilities to Nam and to Guru, to Krishna. And then what can we say? Material existence will go on without respite. So, another important thing is the mind is extremely powerful. And the soul, the conditioned souls who are covered with anarthas are very weak. And therefore, they cannot generate the momentum and determination to engage deeply in relationship with Nam Prabhu. And therefore sadhu sangha is necessary. Unless we come into the association regularly or as much as we can with those who have realization of the holy name, then we'll be weak, we'll be flabby, we'll be a kind of couch potato of the world of bhajan. Without the strength of determination and the grit which is required to follow the path of Nam Bhajan. So it's very important, and by good association and by serving Guru and pure Vaishnavas, by their blessings, gradually our heart will become steady and we develop the momentum and the determination to follow this path of Nam Bhajan that was described by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaito darpanamarjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam sriyakairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadhu jivanam anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam purnamritasvadanam sarvatma stapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna Sam. The cleansing of the heart, the complete state of peace that comes from transcending the physical plane, the fire of material existence. And then the opening of auspiciousness, the blossoming of the heart, and the appearance of one's spiritual form. And then anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam purnamritasam. At every step, the nectar of Krishna's service. Krishna prem udgama premam rita ashvadan. Krishna prapti sevam ritas samudre majjan. When Mahaprabhu explained this verse, Chaitoja Pranamarjanam himself, he said, then the spontaneous love for Krishna will rise up in the heart like an ocean. And one will taste the nectar of direct service to the divine couple. One will attain Krishna and Sevamrita Samudre Majjan and become immersed completely in the ocean of the nectar of the Sri Radha Krishna's Nivrita Nikunja Seva. This morning was, everyone came together to see the Mangala Arti. Mangala means auspicious. If you don't begin the day with a Mangala Arti, then your day will not be auspicious. But if you begin the day with a Mangala Arti, then everything will be Mangala. What is Mangal, auspicious for the living being? Rati. One's foundational, emotional relationship with Krishna. That is called Rati. That is, when you see in Shastra the word Mangal, or Sreya, or Kalyan, auspicious in Shastra, it is actually a synonym of Rati. Because the only thing which is auspicious for a living being is realization of his eternal relationship with Krishna. So Arti means Arati. A means coming. Arati. Rati is coming. And that is Mangal. Mangal Arati. So the song that we sang was very mercifully composed by our Sri Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. And very kindly is written in beautiful poetry the meditation for our morning absorption. First, Mangala Sri Guru Gaura. What is auspicious? Our auspiciousness begins when we remember Sri Guru. Sri here means the treasure, the wealth. So Sri Guru means that Guru who is in possession of the wealth of Krishna Prem can be called Sri Guru. Otherwise you can have a guru of dancing or a guru of cooking or a guru of music, whatever. And guru means teacher. But Sri Guru Charana Padma. Sri Guru means the Sadguru, the eternal transcendental Guru, who is the patra, the receptacle of prema rasa. And the Guru also here means not only the Vyasti Guru, your individual Guru, but the Samasti Guru, the Akhanda Guru Tattva, the original undivided principle of Guru. That is Nityananda Prabhu. So Mangala Sri Guru Gaura, remember Guru and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mangala Murati, and the Mangala, here Marathi means Murti, the auspicious forms. Mangala Sri Radha Krishna Jugala Priti, the auspicious forms of Brajendra Nanda and Shama Sundar, Gopinath, Radha Pran, Sri Krishna, and his most beloved Vrishabhanu Nandini. Remember their divine forms. And Mangala Sri Radha Krishna Jugala Priti, the love between them, and the love that their Sakhis and Manjaris, their maidservants, have for them, and the love that they have for their Sakhis, their friends and maidservants. This is the first verse. Remember all the good things in life to begin the day. Then Mangala Nishanta Lila Mangala Udaye. Remember the auspicious Nishanta Lila. So here Nishanta has two meanings. Nisha means night and Anta means end. So Nishanta means the end of night. So the first general meaning is that Yani Sha Savabhutana. Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, what is night for the materialist is day for the devotee. And what is the night for the devotee is day for the materialist. That means a materialistic person means running around trying to fulfill their endless and worthless material desires, by which they find no true happiness but experience only embarrassment, misery and dissatisfaction, followed by death. They think this is really to be awake and to be alive. But the devotee sees that Atma is snoring. Soul is completely asleep, in ignorance. But that materialistic person is looking at the devotee sitting, chanting, Hare Krishna. What is he doing? Sleeping. Wasting his time. Time is money. And this time is going by, he's not making any money at all, just this snick. So the materialist thinks the devotee is sleeping and the devotee thinks the materialist is sleeping. Who is right? The devotee is right. The materialist is thinking he's doing so many productive things, he's doing nothing. Why? Because whatever comes from his activities was already fixed by the karma of the previous life. So he's literally doing nothing. If he builds a big empire, a big business, whatever it is, he didn't do anything. It was the karma from the past life activity. But he's thinking, I am doing so much. Ahankara vimudatma karta amiti manyate. Out of false ego, he thinks, I am the doer of the activities, which are actually being carried out by Prakriti, the three gunas. So he is doing nothing, sleeping, wasting his time. And the devotee is sitting and chanting Harinam. They are. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Roy Ramananda, who is the greatest capitalist? Roy Ramananda said the devotee of Radha and Krishna. Like my Gurudev, when he quit his job in the police force, the police commissioner asked him, what are you going to do? He said, it's a business. What kind of business? That business where there's all profit and no loss. So those who are doing bhakti really, they are very, very intelligent. Why? Because they take this material body, which is worth nothing. You know, this body, there's some calcium, some carbon, bit of oxygen, and a few other trace elements. If you add up the total cost of them, it comes to about $2.60. So the devotee is taking this material body, which has no value, and he's using it in Krishna's service, and he's attaining eternal life and happiness, and Krishna becomes his property. So you get something which is worth nothing and turn it into that which is priceless. So the devotee is really engaged in the profitable endeavor. So here, Mangala Nishanta Lila, how auspicious it is that a soul who was sleeping for so many lifetimes has now come to the path of bhakti, and the fact that you woke up in the morning and came to Mangalartik and you're doing kirtan with all the devotees means that your night time of many lives in the darkness of Maya is now coming to an end, and the spiritual life is entering into one's existence. So it's very mangal, very auspicious. So Mangala Nishanta Lila, and the second meaning of Nishanta Lila is, of course, that Radha and Krishna's pastimes are going on 24 hours a day, and it's divided into 8 sections, and it begins from 3:36 in the morning, 3:36 to 6 o'clock. This period is called Nishanta Lila, the end of night. So the Mangalartik is actually a meditation on Radha Krishna waking up in the Kunj, Sanket Kunj, and then their beautiful pastimes together, and the service is rendered by the Sakhis, and then they separate and they return to their homes. So it's a very bittersweet moment where they're together, there's meeting, but there's also the inevitable, impending separation to come just very soon, because the sun will not slow down in the sky, it just keeps moving up by degrees and causing them to be separated. So for this offense of separating lovers in the morning, they all cursed him. And by that curse he developed leprosy and his legs fell off. That's why you see the sun can move in the sky but he has no legs, because of the curse of all the lovers who criticize him. So Mangala Nishantalila Mangala Uday. Mangala Arati Jagi Bhagata Hriday. It means may this auspicious Mangalati awaken in the hearts of the devotees. We are not practicing Krishna consciousness to be forever in a state of no anubhav, realization, anubhuti. We are searching for realization. And so in Mangalati we are praying. Oh Guru, oh Gauranga, oh Radha Krishna, sprinkle your mercy upon me, that this beautiful scene of Radha Krishna's waking in the morning, the Mangal Arti, will rise up in my heart. Tomara nidraya jiva nidita dharai, tava jagarani vishwa jagarita hoy. At the time of the pralay, the destruction of the universe, all the living entities are sleeping inside the body of Mahavishnu. They're in a state of suspended animation. But when Mahavishnu wakes up and it's time for the creation, then all the living entities wake up and go around about their business. But the reason the Supreme Lord wakes up the creation is because he's feeling separation from those devotees who in the previous creation had developed bhakti but had not become perfect yet. So that's why God, by his glance, stimulates the prakriti to manifest the world and to manifest bodies for those devotees, so that they can continue with their sadhana and perfect their love and come directly to Sri Krishna's lotus feet. So the cause of the creation, the very reason for existence, the very reason, the glance of the Lord is the time, the halo of the glance of the Lord is Kal Purush, time itself. And so his glance, which instigates the creation, time, is an expression of Krishna's love for his devotee. So you should know the only reason that the finger is moving on the clock is because of Krishna's love for his devotee. The only reason why there's a past, a present and a future, and you're moving through time, that is a current only of Krishna's love. That's why we exist, that's why everything exists. So Krishna creates out of love for his devotee, and incidentally all those who are not devotees also get bodies according to their past karmas. So this is the first meaning of this line. When Supreme Lord wakes up, he instigates Prakriti to let loose the whole creation, and the purpose of it is only for love. And then the more esoteric meaning, Tomarani Draya Jiva, oh my Lord, your Jiva, your life and soul is held in your arms. That is in the early morning, Radha Krishna sleeping in a Nikunj after very energetic dancing in Rasalila the whole night. And now they're embracing each other. So then the devotee prays, our Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshamaraj is praying, Shubha Drishti Koro Prabhu, Jagatera Prati, Jaguka Hridaya Mora Sumangalarati. O Prabhu, O Krishna, wake up and open your beautiful lotus eyes and glance upon me, that your Kripa Shakti, which is carried by your glance, will awaken in my heart the auspicious rati, the sthai bhav, shuddha sattva visheshatma, prema suryangsu samyabak, ruchi bischitamasrinyakdaso bhav uchate. So this is why we come before the deities, primarily not to see the deity, but so that Krishna will look at us. Because if Krishna will glance upon us, then in his merciful glance is such a Shakti, it awakens our foundational emotion, loving relationship, sthai bhav. So now, this song makes a shift from the Bahya Dasha, external consciousness, to internal consciousness. So we're following Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami, that first he's waking up in the morning and chanting Japa, and he's praying to Radha and Krishna. And as he prays, Jaguka Hridaya Mora Sumangalarati, oh my Lord, by your merciful glance, awaken Rati in my heart. And then he goes from the external consciousness into Antardasha, internal consciousness. So when you lose the external consciousness and go into the internal state of consciousness, there you will see you are on the bank of Jamuna, in the beautiful kunjas, in the divine enchanting forest of Vrindavan. And the first thing you become aware of is Mayura Sukadi Sari Katapit Karaj, the singing of the birds in the forest, the call of the peacocks, the sound of the parrots and the pikaha and cuckoo birds. Very sweet. So at that point, when we begin to sing Mangalati, we were singing in folk melody. Jagu karidaye mora sumangalarati. And then when we transition into internal consciousness, then we sing in classical raga. Mayura sukadi sai katapikaraja Mangala Jakara Hetu Kariche Viraja. Bhairav Rag, which is the suitable rag for the atmosphere of the pre-dawn atmosphere of Vrindavan. So, Radha and Krishna are held in a very tight, loving embrace and they're sleeping. But seeing that soon the sun will come, so Brinda Devi becomes very anxious that if Radha and Krishna don't quickly return to their homes, then they'll be seen by the other people who wake up and they'll go around their business, they'll be moving on the paths and they'll see them coming from the forest and there'll be a huge scandal in Braja. So in order to conceal the parakiya, the we can say the ethical relationship of Radha and Krishna. The relationship which is outside the purview of the dharma of society. Then Brinda Devi, the goddess of the forest of Vrindavan, she knows very well, here she is. Brinda Devi thinks, I have to wake up Radha Krishna, but in a sweet way, not in an abrupt way which has no rasa, beep, 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 like your alarm clock. But in a very sweet and beautiful way. So she orders the birds, the parrots, the peacocks, the cuckoos to sing. And that gentle sound will awaken Radha and Krishna from their slumber. So then at that time, our Param Gurudev is saying, Sumadhura dhvani kare jata sakhi khana Mangala sravane baje madhura kujana. So the general meaning is Sumadhura dhvani. There's a very sweet sound. Jata sakhi gan. In the saka, that means the branches of the trees. The birds in the branches of the trees are singing madhura kujan, sweetly warbling, and those sounds combine together to make such an auspicious, beautiful atmosphere. So this is the general meaning. Then another meaning is that the sounds of the birds are full of dhvani. That means implied meanings. Or Sakhigan does not refer to the branches, but it means that at that point when the birds begin to sing, then Rupa Manjari, Rati Manjari, Kamala Manjari, Nayana Manjari, Ramana Manjari, they have just rested. After Radha and Krishna have gone to sleep, they serve them for some time, giving massage, and then they come out from the kunj and lie down there in the courtyard of the kunj. And when they first hear the birds, then they wake up with anxiety. Why? Because they're seva-briti. They always want to serve. And they think, did I oversleep? And they sit up surprised and look around. What time is it? Have I overslept and missed my service opportunities? Before Radha and Krishna wake up, I'll have to collect all the things which are necessary. And that's your arti paraphernalia, right? Before Mangalarti, you have to have your tray. You have to have some water, some cloth, some incense, and all things, other things. So then, and then they realize, it's okay. The anxiety goes down a little bit. It's not too late. Radha Krishna is still sleeping. And they wake up, and along with their Guru Rupa Sakhi, they make their way towards the Gavaksh. Gavaksh means the lattice work of the windows of the Kunja Griha, the cottage in the forest. And they put their eyes against the lattice and peep inside. And there they see Radha Krishna in an embrace. At that time, they begin to talk to each other. One Manjari says to Hasaki, you know that if a bumblebee is trapped inside a bamboo, he's so strong, he can cut through the hard knot of the bamboo even and escape. Yet the bumblebee, if he comes into lotus flower and in the evening the lotus flower closes, he cannot get out from the soft petals of the lotus flower. And hearing this, the other Other Manjris are laughing, giggling, softly, a little bit subdued and reserved at that time in the morning. Why? Why? Why are they laughing? Because Suma Dura Dwani Kari Jata Sakhigan. Dwani. Do you understand? Govinda Dasi, do you understand? What does it mean? Can you explain? A bumblebee can cut its way through the hard knot of bamboo, but cannot get out of the soft petals of a lotus.
Kundalata's explaining that bhakti is about love, that's why.
Little bit vague.
That's why
But
you can't get out of Krishna's arms.
the word Dwani means the implications of poetry. Just like if you say in Sanskrit, Gangayam Goshaha means the village on the Ganges. So if you take Abhidabriti, the dictionary definition, the village on the Ganges, it makes no sense because you cannot build houses in the middle of the water. So then you cannot use the Abhidabriti, you have to move to the Lakshanabriti. Lakshanabriti means the power of the words, the semantic power of the words. Not directly, but something associated with their direct meanings. So Gangayam Gosha, the village on the Ganges, means the village on the bank of the Ganges. Because the bank is something associated with the Ganga. So you have to take the Lakshanbriti. But sometimes the Lakshanbriti also doesn't have a relevant meaning at that point. So then you have to take the next level of semantic power, and that is called the Vyanjambriti, or Dwani. Dwani, the implied or suggested meaning. So perhaps someone asks you, "Oh, I want to visit your house. How can I go there?" And the person replies, "Gangayam Gosha. My village is on the Ganges." So those are the words, but the implied meaning is, if you want to visit me, you can come by boat. Because my house is on the river. So you can come by. So he's not saying you can visit me by boat. But the words, the village on the Ganges, actually that's what it means. By Dwani, by Vyanjambriti. So here, Suma Dura Dwani Kori Jata Sakhigan does not only mean that the birds are singing, and the sound, the Dwani means sound. But here it means that the birds and also the Sakhis, the maidservants of Radhika, they are speaking with each other, and the Dwani, the implied meanings of their poetry, is Sumadur, excessively sweet. So when she says that the bumblebee can cut through the hard knot of a bamboo, but cannot escape from the soft petals of the lotus flower, the meaning is this: Krishna is very strong. And he was held tightly by the coils of Kaliya Nag. But Krishna is Kaliya Dhamma. All the names of Krishna are full of rasa. Hey, Kaliya Dhamma. But the rasa comes from the Dwani. Krishna Kaliya Dhamma. That means you were held so tightly by the embrace of Kaliya, but he could not hold you. You broke free. But you cannot break free from the soft embrace of my Swamini Shrimati Radhika. Kaliya Daman, how strong are you? Because when the bumblebee goes in the lotus flower, he drinks nectar, and that nectar makes him become so intoxicated and so blissful that when the petals close, he can't be bothered to get out. He's happy there, he doesn't want to go anywhere else. So the Dwani of the words of the Sakhis is, oh, just see how strong. Krishna today was wrestling with the cowherd boys. He defeated so many cowherd boys. Sometimes Sri Ram would have him in a tight grip, but Krishna would easily escape from his strong arms. But just see, Krishna cannot escape from the slender, tender arms, the embrace of my Swamini Shrimati Radhika. So Sumadura Dwani Kori Jata. Like this, they're all peeping inside and talking to each other, but never directly. Brajabasis never speak directly. If you speak directly, this is this prosaic habit. Then it means that the love is, when the love is there, love is always expressed indirectly, never directly. Sumadhura dhvani kori chacha sakhi. Gradually, Radha and Krishna, they open their eyes and they sit up. But when they sit up, then Krishna's hair is entangled in Radhika's nose ring. And Radhika's hair is entangled in Krishna's earring. They're kind of... and they're too sleepy and their eyes are rolling from tiredness to figure out how to get out of this bondage. Gopis say, oh, Mukunda. Balo Hari Hari Mukunda. Murari. Mukunda means who frees everyone from bondage. But Krishna wakes up, he cannot. Hey Mukunda. How all the names of Krishna, they're so full of rasa. But the rasa is not in the direct meaning. In the dhvani. Sumadhura dhvani kori. Bolo Hari Hari Mukunda Murari Rama Krishna Hare Krishna. Perhaps on another day we'll go through that whole song. So then Manjari see, oh, our service is needed. Rupa Manjari, Rata Manjari, they go into the kunj. It's somewhat dimly lit inside the kunj, but the effulgence of Radha Krishna is making Krishna's golden, Krishna's charm, effulgence like a sapphire is mixed with Radhika's golden effulgence, and their two effulgences are making a beautiful green aura in the forest. That's why the forest is green, because of the union of Radha and Krishna. And they sit up, and the maidservants with their nimble fingers quickly untie the entangled hair and ornaments. And then they see that on the lips of Sri Krishna there is the eyeliner of Radhika. On the body of Radhika there is the sandalwood paste of Krishna's decorations that melted with his perspiration and dripped onto the body of Radhika. And on the body of Krishna there is the kumkum from the body of Radhika that dripped onto the body of Sri Krishna. There are stains on the cheeks of Radhika from Krishna's chewed tumble. So in this way, Radha Krishna are completely decorated in all the sambhog chhin, the signs of their loving pastimes. This is the success of decoration. Rupa Goswami said, Damodaradati Vardanaveshe Harinishrutabhi. I have decorated Radhika from head to toe with all types of the cosmetics and ornaments. But those cosmetics are not successful until they've melted and dripped and become spattered on the face of Krishna. Then those decorations have become successful. Why? Because Saki bina e lila pushti nahi hai Saki lila vistariya Saki ashwadai. The pastimes of Radha Krishna cannot be nourished without the Sakis. Without the Sakis, their pastimes cannot be expanded. And the Sakis themselves are the tasters of these pastimes. So without Lalita Vishaka, Chitra Champakalata, without Rupa Manjari, Rati Manjari, Radha and Krishna, they cannot experience happiness even for 1 second. The Sakis are essential. Shanamapi nahirada Krishnaya yo yaratesra. Srila Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami. Not 1 second can they feel happiness without the assistance of the Sakis. But only the Sakis, Saki Vina Elila Pushtina Hiyai. This Leela cannot go on without the Sakis. So everything in this Leela is a Saki. Some of the Sakis are internal in the form of emotions. For example, when Radhika sits up and she sees and she remembers what happened the previous night, then one Saki comes, Laja Saki, the Saki of shyness. And she takes over the mind of Radhika. So the emotions, the bhavs are also Sakis. The ornaments are Sakis. The cosmetics are also Sakis. So it is said, pranayamaya vayasya kunjaranda pitakshi shititalamanulabdananda murcham patanti pratirata vidadhano chestita chitra chitray smaranibrita nikunje radhika krishna chandro. Oh my dear mind, remember, in a very solitary, secluded bower in the forest of Vrindavan, Radha and Krishna are together. At that time, pranayamaya vayasya, they're friends of the same age. They're coming, kunjarandra pitakshi, and offering their eyes to the lattice windows and looking inside. Pratirata vidadhano, and when they see the mutual exchange of loving pastimes between Radha and Krishna, chittita chitra chitra, which are so artistic and astonishing, then chittitalam anulabdananda murcham patanti. Now they feel that their life is success. They have arrived at the destination of their whole life's purpose, beholding the beautiful pastimes of Radha and Krishna, and being filled with the ananda, the overflowing ananda coming from Radha and Krishna. Then murcham patanti, they faint and fall to the ground. And now they cannot move and go anywhere, because they've arrived at their destination, and they fall unconscious in ecstasy to the ground. So, because the ornaments, because the cosmetics of Radha and Krishna are also sakis, when those sakis reach their destination, they faint and they stay there. So the Kajal Saki, that means the Saki of Radhika's eyeliner, when she arrived at her destination, the lips of Krishna, she fainted, so she stayed there. When a Kumkum Saki on the breast of Radhika melted and dripped onto the chest of Shri Krishna, then that Kumkum Saki, oh, I've reached my destination, fainted. So she's still there in the morning. So in this way, the ornaments and their cosmetics are like sakis, and they fainted in ecstasy when they arrived at their destination. Oh, now my life is successful. But the problem is that Radha and Krishna cannot go home being decorated in the Sambhog Chin. So they'll have to be removed. And that's why the pujari in Mangalati is coming with the water and a cloth. So first she puts the water in the conch. That means the maidservants are coming and putting some fresh, fragrant water on the bodies of Radha Krishna and taking it across and wiping away the Sambhog Chin. But as they wipe away, as these chin are the signs of Sambhog meeting, then as they're being wiped away, that means it's as if they are erasing the pastime itself. And it's awakening the Vipralamba Bhav. When the Sambhog Chin is wiped away, when meeting is wiped away, then you are left with separation. This is the Bhav of Mangalarti. So the devotees are watching the arti and seeing the offering of the water, the offering of the cloth, like this. And the nectar of the union is being wiped away. And the pain of separation is rising up in the heart. Radha Krishna come out from the kunj, and they sit down on a beautiful Ratnavedi, a platform of jewels. At that time, some of the Sakis and Manjaris, they go into the kunj to collect the Mahaprasad, the drops of chewed tambul of Radha and Krishna. This is Mahaprasad. And because their necklaces were broken and jewels and pearls were scattered here and there, they have to collect them and restring those ornaments. So for that, they'll have to come to the bed and search for the jewels here and there. While they're searching, then some parrots who are in the kunj, it's the nature parrots, they just repeat what they heard. So as they're collecting the jewels, they hear one female parrot is saying to the male parrot, "You're only repeating what you heard." that hurts. I am not Hiranyakashipu. So like this, Sumadura Dwani Kori Jata Sakigan. Even the birds, they are speaking the words of the heroine. And when the maidservants who are collecting the jewels hear, then the Dwani, that is the implication of the words spoken by the parrots, fills their heart with the visions of Radha Krishna's beautiful pastimes. I am not Hiranyakashipu. So, at that time, Lalita Sakhi and Brinda Devi coming to the Kunj. And Lalita Sakhi sees the bed of flower petals, and they become crushed in the middle. And where the petals are crushed in the middle, there is they are tinged with the chandan, sandalwood paste. And on each side, some petals are crushed, and they are tinged with a footlac. And in this way, Lalita Sakhi's experienced this purity of Radha Krishna's Leela. She's so astonished. And Brinda Devi said, Chakridaya Rajasi Ranjita Sutra Badha Gokarna Macha Chikura Navavidya Karna Sayam Kuta Pravara Vibrama Kushalani Radhadi Gisabata Vairajitam Jigaya. Brinda Devi, the goddess of the forest of Vrindavan, with great astonishment, seeing all the various cosmetics in different places on the flowers, she said, oh, it seems that just yesterday, Chakrida Ya Rajasi, that this girl, Brishubhanu Nandini, was just a toddler, a baby, crawling, playing in the dust of the courtyard of Brishubhanu Maharaj. Chakrida Ya Rajasi Ranjita Sutra Badha, and her hair, now her hair is very long, all the way down past her waist, but then her hair was not long enough to make a veni, to make a braid, so it was bound in pigtails like this. Because she's a little girl. So Ranjita Sutrabadha, her hair was tied with a red sutra, red thread, in two pigtails like this, and the pigtails go karna matcha chikura. How long are they? Only as long as the ears of a calf. You know, in India, or a cow, they have ears, and their ears fall down like this, and they're flapping around. So Radhika is a little girl, and she has pigtails, and they like falling over, like over her face, going here and there when she's moving, just like the ears of a cow. Navabidda karna, and her ears were just freshly pierced. Navavidya karna, that means you could still see the turmeric and the ghee that a mother had put on the ear, so that the wound of the first ear piercing would heal very nicely. And Navavidya karna, oh, it was just yesterday that Radhika, her ears were still stained with the turmeric and ghee to heal her newly pierced ears, and she kept going up to a mirror and looking, and her pigtails were going like this, looking and trying to see, because it's new, it's a novelty. Now she's got earrings. How do they swing? How do they look? She's turning her head here. But now what happened? She became a Kishori. She grew up so fast. Sayam Kuta Pavara Vibrama Kaushalani. How did she become so artistic and expert in Vibrama? You know what Vibrama means? It means so many moves, eyebrows. How to glance and stand in a very flirtatious way. And all these things. All the arts of the amorous arts. How suddenly, from where did her expertise arise in all the amorous arts, Brinda Devi is saying, as she looks at the arrangements of the petals, Smaravilasi Tatalpai. Vairajitam Jigaya. She became so expert that Krishna cannot be defeated by anyone. By seeing the arrangements of petals, it's understood that she has defeated Shri Krishna in the Surata Samhar, in their battle of love. So, in this way, Sumadura Dwani Kori Jata Sakhigan. When the Sakis, Lalita Sakhi, Brinda Devi, Rupa Manjari, and the parrots are speaking, and all the words are full of rasa, but not direct. Everything is Sumadura Dwani Kari, in the Madhura Dwani. So Radha Krishna have come outside and they sit upon the Ratnavedi, a jewel platform. Kushumita sarobare kamla hilola. And outside a gentle breeze is blowing and causing the lotus flowers in the Jamuna and in the lakes to tremble and carrying their fragrance. So now Radha Krishna outside, and just now they'll have to return to their homes. But just to make sure that there's no obstacle, that there's no hitch, that they don't get seen or discovered on the way, then Lalita Sakhi comes, and Lalita Sakhi is doing arti. Arti means, because a general person who's in Aishwarya, they do arti to the deity, they have so many ideas. Supreme Lord is the creator of the universe, earth, water, fire, air and ether. So I'm offering the incense because fragrance is the quality of earth, and I'm offering the deeps because that is fire and water and like this, and air with the fan. Like, so this is, people think about art in this sense. But in the Vedic culture, arti means that we are performing this auspicious ritual, that whatever difficulty or problem may come in your life, may you not face that, let it come to me and not to you. So family, like Madhya Yashoda offers arti to Krishna when he comes back in the evening from taking the cows to graze. You think Madhya Yashoda says, I am worshipping you with all the elements. So try to understand that arti as the loving dimension of may you be happy and let all whatever calamity may fall upon you, I'll take it on my head. So in this way, Lalita Sakhi and all the Sakhis, Lalita Sakhi is leading the arti, and this is Mangalartik. And then, and they are singing, Janjara Kamsara Ganta, Shankarata. The conch shell is blowing, the cartels are playing, Mangalam Mridanga Baje Paramarasa. And just as that pastime was appearing in the heart of the Srila Bhakti Pragyan Kesha Maharaj, a devotee in the temple, Ganta, he rang the bell, ding ding. That's time everyone should go to the temple room now. And his samadhi, when he was chanting Japa before Mangalartik, his samadhi was broken. And then he came back into external consciousness. So in that verse we mentioned earlier, that's where he goes in internal consciousness, and in this verse he comes back out to the external consciousness. Then, Mangala Arati Kori Bhakateraga. He comes into the temple room and he's doing Mangalartik among the devotees. Abhaga Keshava Kohe Nama Sankirtan. Thinking, Abhaga, I am so unfortunate because I lost my seva. My spurti was broken and I lost my Abhaga Keshava Kohe Nam Sankirtan. So now he's chanting the holy names, and as he's chanting all the holy names and seeing the vigor of Radha and Krishna, seeing the chamaras, the chamara being waved, and all the paraphernalia being offered. These are all the udipana that he was seeing in his internal consciousness. And so seeing that udipana, it's stimulating the ecstasy, and he's going back into internal consciousness with Harinam Sankirtan. So, if one is under the guidance of Braj-Rasik Vaishnavas, one's whole sadhana becomes adjusted to be focused towards the sadhya, the goal of life. Otherwise, one will be chanting, hearing, remembering, and just not going where to go. Where am I going? Ayodhya, Dwarka, Mathura, Vrindavan, Sakyras, Maduras, Vatsalya. What's going on here? Huh? It's an aimless practice. So the aimless practice is not called sadhana, because sadhana is kriti sadhya bhavat sadhya bhavasa sadhana bida. Nitya siddhasya bhavasya prakatyam redisan. That hearing and chanting, remembering, which is performed for the specific purpose of the manifesting within the heart one particular nitya siddha mood, the mood of one nitya siddha, eternal associate of Sri Krishna, should come to me, then it's called sadhana. Otherwise it is only an abhas, a semblance or imitation of real sadhana. So in this way, try to be in good association, like-minded, sajate ashe snigde, and in that like-minded association, our conception of who we are, what is our goal, and our practice becomes gradually refined and focused on the goal of life. Radha Dasya. Gaur Premanand. Exactly 11 o'clock. Okay? So if devotees have some questions, we can take a few questions, and then we'll have a kirtan.
I need to go pick up Bhagavat Maharaj.
Okay.
So I'll be back.
Sure.
And sausage fruit or go further down.
That's it. Radha Krishna's Prasadi Gala. Give to Radha Krishna first. Is it already Radha Krishna's Prasadi?
No.
No?